Welcome to White Regis TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, the supernatural horror film The Conjuring Last Rites was released on home video. The film is the fourth and final Conjuring film. It's overall the ninth film in the Conjuring universe and stars Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga reprising their roles as real-life paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, and they are joined by Mia Tomlinson taking over the role of the Warrens' daughter Judy, and Ben Hardy playing Judy's boyfriend. The film takes place in 1986, which is five years after the events of the previous Conjuring film, The Devil Made Me Do It, and revolves around the Warrens coming out of a sort of health-induced retirement for one final case to investigate the real-life Smurl hauntings in western Pennsylvania, something around there, which ties back to the case they were working on when their daughter Judy was born. So it's very much set up like the setup is very much like it's the final one. So I watched the film this week and I was looking forward to it because, I wanted to like it because the Conjuring universe is my favourite horror franchise, and I had been rewatching some of the earlier films and reviewing them, but I felt like Last Rites was a bit too all over the place in terms of its story as well as its production. Like, there are several sequences filmed in IMAX and I'm just like, why? It's a spooky horror film. It doesn't need to be in the biggest film format possible, unless it's a Christopher Nolan movie, which unfortunately it's not. So yeah, I gave the film a very generous 3 stars out of 5, but it is more leaning towards like 2.5. But the ending is quite emotionally engaging and emotionally moving, especially if you're a long-time fan of the franchise. So, The Conjuring Last Rites is available on home video now. This weekend, Zootropolis 2 arrives in cinemas. The film is a sequel to the 2016 film Zootropolis, which is titled Zootopia in the rest of the world due to trademark issues in Europe. So it's not called Zootopia in, I believe, 4 countries in Europe, including the UK, due to trademark issues. I believe in Germany and Italy it's called Zoomania. Zoomania, and I believe Spain is also the other Zootropolis film. Zootropolis name, but don't quote me on that. The film stars Ginnifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman, reprising their roles from the first film as Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, 2 Zootopia PD officers who, in this film, go undercover to pursue a reptile, like a snake, after reptiles have not been spotted in Zootopia since its founding. They're sort of like the persecuted. They're sort of like a persecuted group of people. The film also stars Shakira, Idris Elba, Alan Tudyk, reprising their roles from the first film. They're joined by a variety of actors in high-profile cameo roles. So we've got Ke Huy Quan and Andy Samberg in main roles, and there's also a lot of cameos like Macaulay Culkin, Dwayne Johnson cameos in it. A whole load of people. Currently the film has received 93% positive reviews from critics, which is quite good considering that it's not been on Zootopia's not been on the big screen for 10 years, and there's only been in the intervening years there was only an anthology series on Disney Plus about 3 years ago. So that's quite good. Zootropolis 2 is in cinemas now. Also releasing in UK cinemas this weekend is Christie, a biographical sports drama film. The film stars Sydney Sweeney as Christy Martin, America's best-known female boxer in the 90s and into the 2000s, I believe. The film revolves around Martin's rise through boxing, like her career, her closeted sexuality, and the domestic abuse she suffered at the hands of her husband, who was also her coach, with the story covering up to the 2010s when he attempted to murder her. That's not a plot spoiler, this is all real events, this all actually happened, so, and that is sort of the basic general plot synopsis of the film. The film also stars Ben Foster, no, not the football, not the England, not the England footballer, Katie O'Brien and Chad L. Coleman. The film has received mixed reviews from critics in America, and just in general, who criticised the film's narrative but praised Sweeney's transformative performance, similar to Dwayne Johnson in the recent film The Smashing Machine. Yeah, I liked Sydney Sweeney in Immaculate. Like, that was a really good film. But it's also been the subject of some controversy in America due to its poor box office over there. So you'll just have to see how it plays out over here. Christie is in UK cinemas now. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be previewing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It comes out early in the UK, I believe. It comes out early here next week, I think. I'll also have to find something else to talk about next week. So who knows. Yeah, see you next time.